before anyone knew who Danette May was at home as a mom, raising two little babies as a single mom, literally broke as a joke, as a trainer, would go into the gym and train and just had all these hopes and dreams in her heart. And just like anybody else, also had these stories of wondering her worth, right? And for me, I was looking around myself as I was trying to climb out of this darkness, and I was like, wow, I don't really have powerful friendships in my life. I've isolated myself. And whether it's coming from a wound of, I don't know if who really has my back and friendships, that wound can exist because that gets carried on from our mothers or just from our past experiences. Or it could just be that you've been so busy and you've been with your head down and now you're like, okay, like I feel like I need some powerful friendships. So looking at that and then going, is that story actually true? Is that in my mom experience or my past experience necessarily true for me moving forward? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is that you have to look at the past and look at your shadow. Look at where you could be sabotaging or being afraid to step into these powerful friendships. Also, then starting to look at, do I feel worthy for these friendships? And a lot of times we're like, yeah, I feel worthy, but the subconscious mind is like, no, you don't, because you don't feel safe and you wonder if you have a lot to bring to the table and you don't feel like you have as much money as them or as many connections as them or whatever the story is. And so that's where I started, is really looking at that little girl who maybe didn't get invited or friends didn't come or maybe she got hurt by females, and really cleaning up that. Hi, loves. Welcome to the Danette May Show. Enjoy this conversation I had with Felicia Romero, where I explain how I rewire my traumas and how to stay out of past stories, experiences that we tend to hold on to. Stay tuned for next Tuesday's episode, as I will be doing a meditation that will help you heal parasites, mold, and any ailments in your body. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now.
I see that book behind you, Embrace Abundance. I actually wanted to talk to you about this book. You are like a best-selling author. You know, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this book, I actually just ordered it.
Good.
Yeah, I just ordered it. I'm really excited to read it. I've been kind of in like my book phase starting this new year. I'm halfway through 10X is easier than 2X. And so I've been reading that, and now I ordered your book. And I love how you dive into abundance actions that you need only small, manageable nuggets of time and attention in order for you to manifest more self-love, stronger spiritual connection, increase health, better relationships. Like, can you dive into that, Danae?
Yeah, I did these two books with Hay House Publishing, and the first one was The Rise. And that book, they were like, write on anything. What do you want to write on? And I really asked Spirit, like, what really can I do to serve people? And The Rise was really my journey of going through forgiveness and through hardship and also claiming my power and giving women permission for vulnerability. And then Hay House came back to me again. They're like, are you going to write another book? And I was like, oh, really? This soon? And they were like, we want to know, like, why, how does someone like you that comes from the past that you have, has the money, has the relationship, has the friends, has the health, has the kids, people want to know, like, what are you doing to create that? And so I was like, okay, that is a lot to swallow. But I really have worked over so many years on my mindset around my worth and around what I am, my ability to create when it comes to money or business or relationships. And so I really took small stories, real examples, action items that I did to go from literally $47 to my name, loss of my depression, loss of my son, terrible relationship, divorce, really feeling alone, no really girlfriends, to I think we were just talking about Lori earlier, was one of my first girlfriends in my manifesting space when I started to say, hey, I'm going to claim powerful friendships. And so that's where Embrace Abundance came from, is really understanding that abundance is our birthright. And not to say that the dark times of our lives are not also our birthright. We get to go through these things because they are the refiner's fire for us to grow into the truest potential that we're here for.
I love that. I cannot wait to read it. I love that so much. And so let's bring it back a little bit, because I know you mentioned, and I think, as someone who's been a longtime follower and seeing what you do, I think you really emphasize these habits and these small daily habits and these small increments of things that add up and compound over time. And you are someone who practices what they preach. But someone who, let's say, and something that I wanted to get into, and I saw a video that you did, but navigating negativity. And, as we're really, let's say you are on this journey of self-love and wanting to change and really show up in your highest self, you may outgrow the people around you. You mentioned that you were lonely, and like you claimed and you manifested Lori and some really powerful female friendships, but someone may be in the space where they don't even see that yet. They're not even around that yet. What is that first step for you to get out of that, and someone who might be struggling with that right now?
Yeah, no, I can speak to this big time because before anyone knew who Danette May was at home as a mom, raising two little babies as a single mom, literally broke as a joke, as a trainer, would go into the gym and train and just had all these hopes and dreams in her heart. And just like anybody else, also had these stories of wondering her worth, right? We all have that, whether it comes in the form of wondering our worth around money, or stepping into the career we want, or the man and the relationship we want, or the friendship. And for me, I was looking around myself as I was trying to climb out of this darkness, and I was like, wow, I don't really have powerful friendships in my life. I've isolated myself. And whether it's coming from a wound of, I don't know if who really has my back, and friendships, that wound can exist because it gets carried on from our mothers, or, or just from our past experiences. Or it could just be that you've been so busy and you've been with your head down, and now you're like, okay, like, I feel like I need some powerful friendships, because I have to say that there's a lot out there about business and like money and all that. And I actually believe that our greatest commodity right now is true, solid people in our lives. And really taking time to cultivate these people, and also sifting through it, because on this journey of me attracting friendships, I've kind of been like, bring people in, then I'm like, ooh, backpedaling. So there are a lot of people like that. But what I did at the very beginning, literally being alone and not really knowing anyone, is I looked at my story around friendship. So that's the first step. What is your story around female friendship? Let's just talk about female friendship right now. And you could do this with anything, money, a man, whatever the thing is. But for me, I was looking at what's my story around female friendship and powerful female friendship. So looking at that and then going, is that story actually true? Is that in my mom experience or my past experience necessarily true for me moving forward? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is that you have to look at the past and look at your shadow. Look at where you could be sabotaging or being afraid to step into these powerful friendships. Also, then starting to look at, do I feel worthy for these friendships? And a lot of times we're like, yeah, I feel worthy, but the subconscious mind is like, no, you don't, because you don't feel safe, and you wonder if you have a lot to bring to the table, and you don't feel like you have as much money as them, or as many connections as them, or whatever the story is. And so that's where I started, is really looking at that little girl who maybe didn't get invited, or friends didn't come, or maybe she got hurt by females, and really cleaning up that story. So I do a lot of neurological work where I'm going back and role playing traumas in a positive light. And then I wrote down, what do I really want in a really powerful friendship? Like, truly, what do I want in that friendship? What does it look like? What do we do together? Like, how often are we chatting? What are they doing? Am I inspired by them? And then you have to look at, am I that kind of friend? Am I showing up that way? Am I a loyal person? Do I talk really well about them when they're not around? All the things that you truly desire in someone, you have to be, and you have to be like very much like true to that, because you will be tested. You will be tested. And so that's really where I started.
It starts with us. It starts with us. Like I often talk, and I know that you do a lot on manifestation, which I love to get into. But like, when I really started to understand manifesting and attracting the goal, the thing that I wanted to create, it was this pivotal moment. I remember I'm in my, dream home. I remember my fiance and I were literally writing down, I went to a manifestation event in like 2017 and I put a vision board together, literally all the things. And, I put it away. And it was years later when I was finally in the home and we were cleaning out the box, I was like, oh my gosh. And I pulled out this vision board. I was like, this is my home, the white kitchen. And I have like 60 windows and we have a gym and we have these things. And I'm like, I just forgot about it. And what I realized is, and it was said so perfectly when I had seen this post or a reel or a video, something about manifestation. And it really was the person that you're being. What I was doing in all of those years when I wrote on that vision board is like, I was growing as a person. I was expanding as a person. And it wasn't this straight shot. It was actually, the timeline was all off. I thought it was going to happen a lot sooner. But once I was here, I was like, wow. And I had changed. The person that I became was able to hold more. And
Yes.
that's what's really amazing about manifestation. It's not so much like, oh, you're going to get to the goal. It's who you're being. And this is what I see you practice so well, Danette, because you are so expressed online. You are so showing up in your highest self. And now I know you're doing some like sound frequency and DJing. Like, I love all of this, but you truly are showing up in your most highest expressed self, right? And that also allows you to attract the opportunities that are destined for you.
Wow, thank you for that reflection, because I always hope to do that, but it's nice to hear it reflected to someone who I haven't actually talked with before to say that they've watched that. So thank you for that reflection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as someone who's in that, so I didn't realize you were a trainer. So was I.
Yeah,
Trainer for
totally.
years. I own gyms. I sold my last gym in
I
2017.
had a gym too.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh gosh. I remember when I pivoted, I sold in 2017 and I was so ready. Sometimes I think like, I wish I had the tools that I have now in terms of like delegation and being able to handle a company. I wish I had those tools back in 2015, 2016, because as a woman, I struggled with asking for help.
Yeah.
I could do everything myself. I really struggled, which it caused a lot of burnout, so I decided to sell the gym. But, I feel like, a lot of this is back to Lori Harder as well. We all have this common background, which is fitness. It's that discipline. How do you think that helped you in what you're doing now? Because I feel like now you're still talking about health and fitness, but it's probably in a different light, right? Because you've brought in more spiritual connection, you brought in more self-love, better relationships. And so what are some of the things you're really wanting to express and you're really wanting to share, especially on your social media when it comes to health?
Yeah, well, what I want to say is that everything stemmed from loving my body and treating my body well through fitness and nutrition. So that's when the spiritual light got turned on even more, and my own intuition got turned up. So for those of everybody who's like, I get this all the time. How do you turn up your intuition, or how do you know it's your intuition? It's like your body. Your body is this antenna of information, but it's very difficult to listen to the body if you've been shutting it down. And that's why movement and doing movement and exercise is so powerful, because it does get you tuned into your intuition. It kind of cleans out the cobwebs to your soul. And so I would say that nutrition and fitness is literally the foundation of everything, and has been the foundation for my life. I've watched it with thousands and thousands of women as well. And so it never leaves me. I use lifting and working out and running as my analogy for anything in life. When I actually have something that I'm going to do that's kind of scary, whether it's a live event or I'm stepping into something new, I go for long runs, because it's my therapy, it's my rhythm, it's my meditation. And so I always say, if you're looking for a spiritual practice or better mental health, or to go to the next level, start with really honoring your body. And honoring your body is actually eating food and eating healing foods and moving your body. It's not selfish to go move your body. Move your body.
I love that. Even for me, most of my downloads come when I'm moving my body. And I actually started a practice a couple of years back. I don't know if you've ever heard it. Have you ever heard of goddess yoga?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never done it.
Oh my gosh. If you're in Arizona, please come. I don't teach anymore. Like I don't go to like a studio and teach, but I do host workshops. Goddess yoga has really been that for me. So yeah, if you're in town, if you come to Arizona, you'll have to, or if you go to Sedona, they have them all the time in Sedona. But yeah, one of the things I saw that you spoke about so vulnerably, and if you want to listen to this on an even deeper level, make sure you head over to Danette's podcast. But you talk about your hysterectomy and what you do for a smooth recovery, especially after something, really, really tough like that surgery. Can you share some of the details of that? Like, because I know that you're so in tune again back to your body and what you need in order to recover and, heal. But can you share a little bit of that experience?
That journey has been one of the most incredible journeys for me, but I'm like, wow, I definitely called that in so that I could receive the messages I needed to receive. And so the biggest message for healing, and this is what I do know, not just from my hysterectomy journey, but I lead these deep healing experiences where I take people to these different locations and people are healing from cancer and healing from different body problems they've had for years. And it's one of the things I don't really promote because it's so deep and near and dear to my heart, and the people that come. And so what I've learned is that love is the greatest healer. And that might sound like a little wooey, but no, there's this way of accessing deep, profound love within yourself. And so that was the journey I took before the surgery. The journey I've been taking is really every day accessing deep, profound love for my body, deep, profound love for my beingness, for my essence. And that's through a meditation that I do. And so I really believe in doing that every single day. And then maybe a little more as you're leading into something that might feel like, wow, I feel like my body's, some people feel like their body might be failing them. No, your body's just communicating with you. It's not failing you. It's communicating deeper things for you for your ultimate evolution. The second thing I did is really dialed in non-inflammatory foods. That's so key. I can't express enough the power of foods and this medicine that we have on the planet. So I really dived into that. I share the recipe on there. And then, of course, like movement, like walking. I can't lift really anything, but walking is so powerful. And I was asking even my surgeon, who doesn't come from a fitness background, what is the number one thing you see from those patients that actually heal quicker than others? And she said, those who walk. And so just walking, and that might seem really simple, but it's super great for mental health and it's great for the whole body health.
It's so powerful. Have you watched that Netflix documentary? I think it's called Blue Zones. You watched
Yes.
that one? I
I didn't watch it, but I know a lot. I've studied a lot about
you
blue
probably
zones.
know a lot about it. Yeah. So, for those that haven't watched, they literally go to these blue zones and there's different parts on, in the world that have these blue zones where essentially there's like a certain percentage of centenarians where people who live beyond 100. And if you notice a lot of the things that they're doing, actually, number one, that actually was surprising, but it was really good to hear, was the aspect of community.
I know,
Isn't that
right?
powerful?
That's why I tell you, your greatest commodity is your close people in your life, the people you can rely on.
Yeah, I mean, you see these cultures where, they're all having dinner together every night, they're laughing, they're playing, like they have a strong community bond. Like it's just that was like it shocked me, but it didn't, but it was so good to hear. There was this other community, I want to say it was Japan, where there's a lot of hills, so people are walking up hills and they don't have chairs. So a lot of these people, again, 100-year-olds, 105-year-olds, that are squatting and standing hundreds of times a day, right? And not doing anything they're just moving their bodies, and their mobility is so good. And that's the difference, like for me. And I think I just turned 41 last year. I'm going to be 42 this year. And one of the things that I set out for this year wasn't necessarily like, oh, I want to, like, none of my goals are physical. They're more in terms of like, God, I want to thrive as I get older. I want to feel good. I want to, like, not have the brain fog or misspeak a word, or like, oh, I forgot that thing. Like, I want to just thrive as I get older. And
Yeah.
so I feel like you're just a great example of that, because your habits and how you live your life are so set up to thrive, which I love.
Yeah, thank you. It's all about honestly honoring your soul, in my opinion. And we can get so caught up in what is everyone else doing? What business is everyone else growing? Or what is everyone doing in the fitness realm? Or what is everyone doing to look good? And what's everyone doing for whatever reason? Instead of really tapping in and going, what does my soul want? What does my soul want? So one of my little, it's not so much a secret anymore, but I have once a week a soul day. And I do not do it on the weekend because I'm a mom. And so the weekend is not mine. So I choose one day a week. And honestly, it's catapulted so many areas of my life, in particularly business, where I just say, this is my day where my soul speaks. So if my soul, so basically there's no meetings, there's no email, and there's no Slack, and there's no podcast necessarily. It's like me, it might be writing, it might be something that contributes to the business, or it may not. It might be phone calls, it might be longer in nature, it might be reading, it might be playing a musical, whatever the thing is, but it's, the point is you're saying the soul is leading the way. What do you need and what do you want all day long?
I love that. Ooh, what is one thing that's lighting you up right now?
Oh my gosh, I get lit up a lot. What lights me up is literally traveling to places and learning ancient forms of healing
Mm,
and really playing with the elements of these ancient lands.
mhm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's powerful. Oh, so, so good. Do you
Yeah.
ever do like plant ceremonies or plant journeys?
I have done those. I don't personally don't need to use those in my experiences because we do our own natural healings, but I have personally in the past before.
Yeah. And I mentioned, I know that you do a lot of like sound frequency and sound healing. Is that part of the modalities that
Oh
you do
yeah.
yourself? Isn't that
Mhm.
powerful?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
so good.
We are still tapping into understanding, and I'm not talking sound frequencies like you hear of these certain hertz that we're hearing on YouTube or other people. There is some ancient sound frequencies that have profound impact on your creative centers, your healing centers of the organs, and then also sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is out there and we can look at it and we might go, oh, that's pretty, but we're finding more and more there's so many codes inside of sacred geometry that are doing different things to our organs, doing different things to our blood. And once again, the brain, the creative synapses inside the brain. So we're still on the precipice of really understanding these ancient modalities.
Yeah. So good. So good. Well, I cannot wait to continue to follow along. This has been so good.
You can go to the website if people still do websites, DanetteMay.com. And that obviously the website has all the social handles and tons of free content on there, you guys. I started that website back in the day when blogs were a thing, and I put a lot of my content there. But you can follow me also on Facebook or Instagram at the Danette May.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you really enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast. This way, you'll get notified about my upcoming episode releasing next Tuesday, where I infused sound healing frequencies to a meditation that will help you heal ailments in your body. Stay tuned.